Hello and welcome to WhoTube Gallifrey02 and my episode preview for episode 10 of series 10 of Doctor Who, The Eaters of Light. And also in this video I'm going to be discussing why Doctor Who needs to change, and it needs to change now. So if you're here for that, please fast forward to this point here. And yes, spoiler alert for the episode preview. So yes, The Eaters of Light, the 10th episode of series 10 of Doctor Who, and the final regular adventure for Peter Capaldi's Doctor, as there's the finale, which isn't a regular episode, and the Christmas special, which is a Christmas special. It's a special, it's not a regular adventure. So yeah, his final regular adventure is the end of an era for Peter Capaldi, but the start of a new one. This is the first ever episode to be written by somebody who has written for the classic era as well. Written by Rowan Munro, who also wrote Survival. There has been a director who has directed in both eras, and also Terrance Dicks. He wrote a few classic stories, and he did write, I think, Made of Steel, the Doctor Who quick read, but the first actual episode is written by Rowan Munro. So yeah, start of a new milestone for that. Also directed by Charles Palmer, who I think directed Thin Ice and Knock Knock. Not sure about that. Please let me know if that's true. And yeah, quite good direction in those two episodes, especially Knock Knock, that had so atmospheric direction. That was brilliant. So yeah, hopefully it will be good. And yeah, Survival. Is it a good story? Well, yes, it is an okay story in my opinion. I know some people love it, but I know some people hate it. So yeah, this episode could go either way. And yeah, there's going to be quite a few references to Survival in this episode, probably. And apparently there's going to be quite a few sci-fi references in this story as well. And yeah, there were quite a few sci-fi references in Survival, including someone being called Darth Vader. So yeah, hopefully there's going to be some great sci-fi references in this episode. So yeah, what is this episode about? So yes, whatever happened to the 9th Legion? Bill thinks she knows, the Doctor thinks he knows better, and Nardole thought they were having a quiet night in with a box set and popcorn. But why watch TV when you have a time machine and an inquiring mind? Well, it's a good point. If you have a TV, do something better. So yeah, it's basically getting less viewers for the show this episode. So yeah, no one's gonna watch next week. Doctor Who needs to be encouraging viewers, not discouraging them. And yeah, that's what I'm going to discuss later on in this video. So yeah, the synopsis sounds interesting. Think it's going to be very good indeed. This episode looks great, the monster looks great, the effects look great. Just one problem. In the next time trailer, a lot of the characters, and it's meant to be set prehistoric times, about a few thousand years ago, or a few hundred, I don't know. And yeah, the haircuts are really modern for some of the characters, which really annoys me. It's a historical error. It's not teaching people about the past. It's just saying people had the same haircuts and stuff like that. And yeah, that really annoys me. So that's already a negative of this episode. Monster looks great. The scenery looks great. Set in ancient Aberdeenshire. Set in north of Scotland, which is brilliant. Peter Capaldi's home country. And yeah, it's going to be really great this episode, I think. Looks beautiful. Nardole, he's in a dressing gown in this episode, gonna look very out of place, but that's what's gonna make it even funnier this episode. And yeah, this is the final episode to feature either Nardole, Missy, or Bill. Missy might not be in it, but in the world and time synopsis, it does say that the Doctor witnesses the death of one of his closest friends. It might be someone else, it might be Next Companion, but it's probably gonna be one of those 3 people who dies. Then they're going to be brought back to life in the Doctor Falls, as Stephen Moffat can't kill off a character. So yeah, this episode looks very good indeed. And yes, all about Romans, very good. Romans is one of my favourite stories of all time. And yeah, looks great in my opinion. The lizard monster looks great. But this episode I've been least looking forward to, as there hasn't been much hype for this episode really. So yeah, I wasn't looking forward to the Empress of Mars, but I loved it, so it's probably going to be the same with this episode, hopefully. So yes, now on to why Doctor Who needs to change. So yes, This series, it's not had the best of viewing figures. In fact, it has had the worst of the modern era. The Lie of the Land, it got the worst ratings ever, and the worst ratings of the modern era for full figures. By the overnight ratings were 3.01 million, which is pathetic, especially for a BBC show at that time, and it was on a Saturday night. Yes, it clashed with the Britain's Got Talent final, but you know, 3.01 million, that is just poor viewing figures, really, and it needs to change right now. If not, the show is going to go downhill. It's being commissioned for another 5 series, as Doctor Who is going to China. It's not actually going to be set in China, but you know, it's getting broadcast in China in 2018. So yeah, that should be very good, grow a bigger fan base, as a lot of Chinese people like Harry Potter, Star Wars, Star Trek, stuff like that. Very similar things to Doctor Who, so hopefully Doctor Who will get a lot more viewers. Yeah, not all 1 billion people in China are going to watch it, but it might get a few more million viewers. And yeah, the Doctor Who experience might remain open, as the Harry Potter experience gets a lot of Chinese visitors. So yeah, hopefully the Doctor Who experience will get a lot more visitors, and it might remain open. So yeah, thank you, China. So yeah, but why does it have to change right now? Well, it's got the worst viewing figures ever, Series 10, 4 and 5 million. That is really bad. 6 million used to be classified as bad at the start of the modern era. If it got 6 million, they were like, that's pretty poor viewing figures. But now 6 million is brilliant now. It shouldn't be brilliant, it should be back then. Take 6 million in the classic era, that would be classified as really poor. 8 million used to be the goal of an episode back in series 3 and 4 of Doctor Who, when Doctor Who was at its height. In the classic era, 8 million won't be much at all, and that will be classified as bad. 12 million will be classified as good, and Doctor Who needs to be getting 12 million again. Yes, that isn't going to happen overnight, and yeah, now there's more TV channels and more things to do, more consoles and stuff like that. Back in the 80s, people didn't have that. So yeah, they can't get the viewing figures back up, but they can get it to 8 million or whatever. The reason why they should do this is because if they don't do it, the BBC will put less budget into the show, meaning Doctor Who will go downhill. So, Series 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 Part 2, they were all broadcast in the spring at 6 o'clock. Now, I got brilliant viewers from that. Yes, Doctor Who won't go as dark, but it'll be more family friendly, and probably get more viewing figures, as it's on at an early time. It doesn't clash with anything else, and yeah, it should get good viewing figures. You know, it should get at least 6, 7 or 8 million. Series 7 Part 1, on the other hand, that got brilliant viewing figures, the best of the modern era, by getting 7 or 8 million on each episode, which was brilliant average for a series there. And yeah, what they should do is they should make the series smaller, maybe put it in parts. Yes, I know the parts annoyed people, but it spreads it across the year better, and there's less episodes, meaning people will say, yeah, we can give that a go, it's only 5 parts, but when they see it's 12 parts, they're like, let's not bother, it's going to take too long, and you know, it's going to drag out a lot, as some people think the series is one big show, it's one big continuity thing, like Torchwood Miracle Day, for example, which was 10 parts, they think it's something like that, and they're not going to bother, as they'll think it will drag, as it's a 12-part series. But no, Doctor Who's split into little stories, and people don't seem to realise that, I don't think. They should put some 2-parters in it. They should have 13 episodes instead of 12, as they can do more stories that way. There should be 3 2-parters per series, and yeah, should make the episodes 45 minutes long, family friendly, and yes, put them on at an earlier time. And yes, they made a mistake. Series 8 didn't get the best of viewers. Yes, it got brilliant viewers, it got 7 or 6 million viewers, but the BBC wanted more, so they decided to do a comedic Doctor for Series 9 of Doctor Who. But that didn't work, that shattered it. So yeah, they should go back for a darker Doctor in Series 11 of Doctor Who, but to get more viewers, they should have a Doctor more like David Tennant's Doctor or Matt Smith's Doctor to get a bigger fan base. As I'm not saying this is all female Doctor Who fans, I'm just saying it's a few of them, but quite a lot more of the audience. A lot of people stopped watching when Peter Capaldi became the Doctor because he was the non-attractive older male. So yeah, they should have a Doctor more like David Tennant or Matt Smith so it attracts a wider audience of people. And yeah, it's quite annoying that people just watch it for that, but you know, it will still give it a bigger fan base. So yeah, that's what they should do. But Doctor Who needs to bring back spin-offs, as spin-offs do work. Yes, Class didn't work, as the BBC didn't give it a chance. They didn't advertise it as much as they should have done, and they broadcast it far too late, at 11 o'clock at night, meaning people wouldn't stay up especially to watch it. And yeah, they shouldn't have done that really. It was a really bad move by the BBC. They didn't give it a chance, as they thought. They didn't get good viewing figures on iPlayer, so why should it be putting a good time slot on BBC One? They should have put it at 9 o'clock, meaning more people would watch it, meaning more fans would be attracted to Doctor Who. But no, I doubt Class really sparked many Doctor Who fans at all. I doubt even many people watched it who hadn't watched Doctor Who. Really, I bet it was all, well, a majority Doctor Who fans. So yeah, Class didn't attract fans much. But I tell you what did attract new fans to Doctor Who. Torchwood and the Sarah Jane Adventures. One of which, the Sarah Jane Adventures, attracted me to Doctor Who. That's what got me into Doctor Who. If it wasn't for the Sarah Jane Adventures, I probably wouldn't be a fan of Doctor Who today, as that got me into Doctor Who. So yes, Doctor Who is a family show. It's designed for all ages. But what Torchwood did is it attracted the older audience. It was just for adults. So it was an adult show, and at about 9 o'clock every whatever night, I don't remember what night it was on, they watched it and they liked it. So then they were like, let's have more. So they watched Doctor Who when it came back. So it attracted more viewers to Doctor Who. And yeah, so Jane Adventures aimed at kids. So kids watched it and yeah, got attracted to Doctor Who from watching Torchwood and Sarah Jane Adventures. So yeah, that's what spin-offs do. They attract a wider audience. So yeah, they should have 2 spin-offs. They should bring back Torchwood for Series 5 as it has been highly anticipated. Big Finish, that's not going to attract new Doctor Who fans. Only Doctor Who fans know about Big Finish. Yeah, they've done Blake 7 and stuff like that, but they mainly do Doctor Who. You won't know about Big Finish if you're not a fan of Doctor Who. Yeah, you may have heard of it, but you won't be familiar with it, I don't think, if you haven't watched Doctor Who. So yeah, Big Finish is not going to attract any more viewers to Doctor Who. Yes, it may attract Doctor Who viewers to Big Finish, but not vice versa. So yeah, they should have a new television series of Torchwood Series 5. Don't do it like Miracle Day, as that dragged out for far too long. Maybe do it like Children of Earth, however, I don't think they should do that. I think they should do it like Series 1 of Torchwood, or Series 2, where they just do it like a Doctor Who series, individual stories, an overarching plot to it, like The Vault, or The Rift, or something like that. Do that again, summarise how Rex became immortal, and just do it like that, attract a wider audience to Doctor Who. And yeah, they should do a kids spin-off as well. They can't do the Sarah Jane Adventures Series 6, sadly, but they could do the Clyde Langer Adventures, or the Paternoster Row Gang. However, I wouldn't really be a fan of the Paternoster Row Gang, as I don't think it would be very good. But, you know, Clyde Langer Adventures, that might get a few viewers. But then again, kids who watch CBBC now won't be familiar with Clyde Langer. But they would be familiar with the Paternoster Row Gang. So yeah, they should do something like that. So yeah, that's why Doctor Who needs to improve. And yeah, you've forgotten about it by now, my episode preview for the Eaters of Light. Where's the light gone?